To reintroduce.
I am Michael.
And we have some special guests with us. Would you two like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay Michael Tatum.
Yay! We're happy to have you guys. So today, Michael, you seem a little excited to introduce it.
So yesterday, to do a little recap, we were talking about paranormal investigation and stuff, because you're into the same things I am.
Very much.
Bigfoot, ghost, all that. And then Hunter had ideas, since we were having you on, how about would Jay Michael Tatum be interested in popping over here? Because would he be interested in all this as well?
Yes.
And of course he said yes, and I was super excited. I was originally on this panel at this time, but we switched, so I was able to do it. But I'm like, this is my world. I love ghosts, I love paranormal, I love tarot cards, everything.
And
so,
we wanted to ask you too,
Yes.
Adam, because you're an expert in this. So tell us what you do.
Yeah, I'm essentially a professional tarot reader by trade. That's what I do for a living, and I operate primarily on social media. So I'm on TikTok, Instagram, X is what it is now,
X.
and Threads.
I call it Twitter sometimes.
Right, I'm still on all the things, but I specialize in virtual readings. So it's over Zoom. You're in your space, I'm in my space, and I approach it from a very practical, tough love kind of perspective.
So how many decks do you have? I personally, I gotta think about 12 different decks.
He knows more than me.
The limit does not exist. I have no
right.
idea. I have so many decks. They get sent to me. They get gifted to me. I have so many decks, but I cycle through about 3 or 4 at a time, I would say.
It's like dice.
Yeah, honestly.
It
really is.
It's like D&D dice.
It really is.
If
It's a
some
great
get
way
worn
to-
out, you gotta retire them, put them on the shelf as a
you gotta
collection.
let them rest, and
Yeah.
you gotta cleanse them, and give them time.
And give them a lot of love.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you're housing them properly. Are you keeping them clean and cleansed and all that? Yeah, very similar to dice, actually. That's a really good point.
Yeah, so
How long have you been doing this professionally?
I have been studying tarot since I was about 15 as the result of religious trauma.
oh
Yes.
Oh,
And,
relatable.
we love religious trauma. But since I was 15, I've been studying tarot, but since the pandemic, I went through a lot of personal study and growth and depression and things like that, and got back into tarot. And during the pandemic, I was able to make it my full-time job and turn it into a very lucrative business for myself. So I've been studying this for about 20 years off and on. Yeah.
What got you interested in tarot cards and everything in that field?
I also read tarot cards, not professionally.
Oh, I didn't know
I'm
that.
Nowhere near a professional
Love
level,
that.
but as sort of a passionate enthusiast, I started. My grandmother read them, and so I learned from a very young age how to read them. And as I got older, I got obsessed with the history of them and
Yes.
different artists' interpretation of the cards and all that. And so I have my own. I have a handful of decks myself that I use occasionally. I haven't been read for a very long time, but I do readings for friends and stuff like that. And again, I don't purport to be a pro. It's just a passionate amateur. But I've just been kind of always been around in my life, and so I very much love it. Yeah.
So what's your favorite artwork for both of you that you've had in a deck?
I feel like we should include yourself in this conversation too.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. So all right, I'll do the first questions to myself. I'll go back then. I've done about 12 decks. I've been into it since early teens, I think. When I grew up in Orlando in College Park area, and there was a pagan store there in College Park at the time, and I was very interested in it. So I went there, told my mom about it. She was very open. Yeah, go check it out, because she used to do that when she was younger. So learned a lot from the person that ran the store, bought a bunch of stuff, and just started learning and buying books and learning more about the craft and everything spiritually around that circle as well. And now also grew into what I love today, paranormal investigation, stuff like that, because it all does somehow tie in together. And that's what I love about that.
So
What was
the other
favorite
question was,
artwork.
what was your favorite artwork?
Yeah.
And you just never answered that. We love you. We love you. No, we love you.
He's indulging his own question.
I know.
So I have a D&D deck at home
That's a
that
good
my
one.
ex bought me
That's a good one.
for Christmas last year, and I love that deck. I love the artwork in it, and it's probably the Death card was my favorite.
Ooh.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Solid.
That's the other reason I love collecting cards is the artwork in them.
Yeah.
I just love looking at it and everything.
Yeah. I don't like to use all of the decks that I have. Some of them I consider kind of novelty in some way. There's a vast normalcy now with tarot. It's all over the place. So there's so many different styles and artworks. There's Hocus Pocus tarot. There's Disney villains and all these different things. And some of them are not quite what I think would be.
I've even seen Neopet tarot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Neopet.
One of my favorites now is Golden Girls tarot because you can talk to all four of them now. So
That's awesome right there.
And but it's some of them are novelty that I wouldn't use well, but I do want to take some of the art I love and like frame it. Take the deck and frame it and like put it up. There's one, it's a fairy tale oriented deck. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
That sounds
but
magical.
It's beautiful and it's fairy tales across the world though. It's not just Americanized, it's from all over the place. But that one is really beautiful and the feel of the cards and the glossy texture is great. I love this deck I have as well. It's called Lunasomnia Tarot. It's basically an inverted color palette of the classic Rider-Waite Pamela Smith system. And it just leaves a lot more to your imagination and focuses more on symbology. But I'm a High Priestess girl. I love the High Priestess. She's basically what it means to read tarot, to understand the secrets that lie deep within you. And as a super floopy Pisces, that just lines up really well for me. And the journey diving deep within the self and everything. And I have an idea, artwork, I have an idea to get a High Priestess tattoo, but as Bayonetta.
Oh! That's so slay.
Yeah.
That is so
So
cool.
you mentioned tattoo. I am actually having one drawn for me. It's the death card, but it's Gengar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
so
I'm gonna put that
good.
up here on my arm.
Yeah, I thought about getting the star as like Kirby or something like that, but like Bayonetta
That's
in her
cute.
nun outfit from the first game as like the High
An
Priestess.
assortment of Smash characters as the tattoos.
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
How about you?
Absolutely.
I have a lot of different decks that I love. One that I found recently is a few years ago. They released a sort of David Bowie Ziggy Stardust King one.
Yes.
Which I
Love
think is
that
really,
one.
really lovely.
That's so pretty.
There's a Sandman Tarot based off the Neil Gaiman
Yes. Oh,
creation,
I forgot
which I
about
really
that.
love. But my personal favorite, the one that I come back to again and again, because you probably have the same experience. You use a certain deck and there's just one. This is the one that I'm the most in tune with for whatever reason, and mine's for a long time. I've had the traditional Toth deck.
Yeah.
It's designed by the Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But mostly the Unfortunate. And it's just, the artwork is gorgeous and the different spreads. Like, I just really love that. And I have artwork of it, canvases of various cards that I really love hanging around the house. I love the Tower card from that deck. It's so powerful. The Death card from that deck. The deck is also good. I also love the Fool card. The Fool card is like my favorite.
The Fool
tarot
card is
like very
also
relatable for me. But
Yeah.
but I love just all the arcane history that goes into the design of a really good tarot deck. For me, the Toth deck is probably the most legit in terms of.
I agree, and I think that deck in particular has such ancient reverence and imagery of like sacred geometry and things like that. It is fascinating, like the way the Ten of Pentacles works the sacred tree, things like that.
And the
It's
Rosicrucian
fascinating.
symbolism on the backs of the cards.
There's so many
intense.
layers to tarot. You can't just pick up a deck and go, I read now. Like you need to learn the language and the basics of what this means to really give your intuition a chance.
So you mentioned learning. What would you do to recommend someone that wants to start reading for them to get into it?
Do your own research, look up multiple meanings. First and foremost, read 78 Degrees of Wisdom. That is the tarot Bible, in my opinion. I've read that book 3 times a year for a long time. It's philosophy, it's definition, it breaks it down in a way that is truly eye-opening and moving, like on a personal level. Like it's psychology, it's not just floopy fortune telling. Because that's not what tarot is. We're not fortune telling. This is a self-discovered journey about you. So it's do a lot of your own research and be willing to be wrong. That's a big thing. And like compare multiple sources. So I read 70 Degrees of Wisdom, Teresa reads Tarot No Questions Asked, Melissa Sainova's Kitchen Table Tarot, and I take it's the same card, multiple definitions, and just try to find a commonality or synonyms that make sense so that you have your own basis on it. Because your life journey is going to make your definition different for you, right? Everyone's journey is a little different, so the way that you spin a card is going to be a little different, but there is a common baseline meaning. And if you can start to understand them through multiple meanings and finding a common one that you get, then you can can start there. But just dive into it, read books, buy your own deck. It doesn't need to be bought for you. Buy a deck and just give it reverence and time.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like super eye-opening in a way.
It's beautiful. It's there's no putting that toothpaste back in the tube.
Oh,
You know,
that is
once
such
you
a
know
good saying.
stuff,
Put that on a
like-
shirt.
Right?
Put
But
that on
like,
a shirt.
once you know what you know, it's frustrating knowing the common sense to you that isn't common to others. You know, it's the awareness that you get from it is really powerful.
So, we actually wanted to see your skills in action.
Yeah.
I mean, you look so excited.
Very
You like
excited.
waving
I'm
your
excited
eyebrows.
to
You're
see
so
this.
excited. I was excited to see this. So, if it's simple enough,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
say that.
just take it or take some.
I mean, I would say
Take it away. It's all
take the
yours
lead.
now.
It's all
Yeah,
yours.
Perfection. Well, great. I love this.
We have this camera. It's focused
Here,
on
for
for here. Like,
perfection.
oh my god, they're so
Nail
pretty.
game.
The nails.
These are great
We were
nails.
talking about it earlier. Their nails are
Very nice.
beautiful.
So I love general reading. I love approaching it from the broad spectrum of things. And my generals for the duration of this event have become commonly into like setting you up for success for 2024.
Okay.
What you need to know,
Okay.
why, and like how you should move into the new chapter of life, the new season, so to speak. And just as a ground for anyone that gets reads with me at my booth or online or with me in general, in my opinion, medical readings are not ethical. I'm not a doctor, don't ask me. Legal readings are also not ethical. I'm not a lawyer, don't ask me. Pregnancy is a medical thing. Take a test, don't ask me.
I love that.
And there's so much more to tarot than romance. Love is a spectrum, and claiming that any one particular card is romantic negates the entire spectrum of love. Okay? So I'm gonna talk more about this stuff at my panel this evening, but just so you understand, it's about you. It's a soul search, a look at you, and I like to come at it from just a general, what do you need? You know? Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. And what's your sign?
I'm good luck.
What is your sign?
I'm a Gemini Taurus, which means my mantra is maybe, and that's final.
Yeah.
What's your sign?
I am a Cancer.
You're Cancer.
Oh,
Yes.
feeling baby. I love that.
I'm a Libra.
Are you?
Yes. Yeah.
Balance, decisions.
I
Nice.
wish I was that balanced.
I mean, that's the effort, though. Is
Yeah,
that
that's
you
You're,
true.
try.
Madam, you're a Pisces.
I'm a hella Pisces. With an Aquarius moon, so the gift of gab is my burden. I talk too much. And then I have a Sag rising, which means I'm very direct, very forward. I am no nonsense. That's why I call it Tough Love Tarot, because as my rules go, I don't know you, so I can't judge you, lie, or care. It has to be this, it has to be raw. It has to be true, right? So,
I like
so
that.
Yeah, so Gemini Taurus, right? That's lovely. Taurus energy is very innately skeptical about life in general, but it's you have to see it, feel it, touch it to know that it's right for you in general. Go see the movie, it's great. I'll decide that for myself then. You know? Gemini energy.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me how I feel. Don't tell me who I am. Gemini energy is very duality based. The lovers and the major arcana is Gemini energy, which is not romantic. It's about choices and decisions and the way you carry yourself. So a lot of decision making for you might be linked to who you are as a person, you know, and that kind of thing. So very good. I've shuffled quite a bit before we started, so my stink is all over this. So I'm gonna have you cut this and make it into 3 piles as you see fit. There's no wrong way, whatever you would like. So sometimes I let people touch the cards just to put their stuff on it, and then sometimes I don't. It just depends, varies person to person. They're just cards, lighten up. All right, so I operate in a very simple what, why, and how method. I get a lot of messages from people where they just send me pictures of cards and they're like, what does this mean? And I'm like, what did you ask? Like, I don't know. Every card you pull should have an intention or something behind it. So what is your message? Why is that your message? And how should you handle that? Under the energy of the 2024 New Year, setting you up for that. So your message is the lovers, Gemini. Look at that, right off the bat. So the lovers, again, is not romantic. There it is. Camera there. The lovers is not romantic, because if it were, these two people would be like going at it. They would be on top of each other, and they're not. So these two people, this is about choice and the decisions that you make. You have a fork in the road for the new year, and it's about your decisions and what you want to do. The perversion of the lovers card is the devil. So not making your own choices, letting other people choose for you. And if you're going to let other people choose for you, you have no business complaining. because your life is your own and you get to do what you want to do. So this is the 3-in-1. There is a masculine presence, a feminine presence, and a spiritual presence. So the active masculine is reality outside of you. The passive is the internal, what you know to be true for you, and then the spiritual, what you get from the song on the radio, the angel numbers you're seeing, that vibe from grandma, whatever those things are, and like put those things together to make your own choices. Okay, so you got decisions that we're gonna need to make. Okay, so why is that the vibe? Because we need to protect your peace. Temperance, another major arcana up here. She's a giant winged angel. She's got a foot in the water, keeping a temper on her emotions, a foot on the ground, keeping a temper on the real world, kind of being logical about how we feel, realistic about what we can accomplish. Your emotions are true, valid, accurate, nobody else's problem. So what do we do about them? So message, again, we have major decisions that we need to make about our trajectory. Why? Because you need to make sure you're protecting your peace, keeping things simple. We're not reacting, we're choosing. Yeah? How do we handle this? Oh, we suss out deception. 7 of Swords energy is really gross. 7 of Swords energy is deception. All the 7s, all of the major arcana cards trickle down into the minors. The 7s all come from the Chariot. So your victories are blocked by deception. Are you deceiving yourself? Are you picking up responsibilities that are not yours? Are you taking other people's truths and holding them too closely? Are you allowing people to deceive you? Are you allowing people to take advantage of you somewhere? So that's how we handle this. We figure out where we're messing around, where we're not being honest with ourselves. Because, I mean, all you owe anyone ever is truth and kindness. But that has to start with you. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. At some point, I had to kick a lot of my vices because I was no longer honest with myself about what I was doing, and it wasn't kind to me to keep doing that. So you have to have this moment of like self-reflection and deception. So yeah, you've got some major choices about life that need to be made sooner than later into the new year. Why? So that you can just protect your peace. You do what you do for a living. You give a lot of energy. You give a lot of time. You see people. There's performance. It's insane what that does to a person. So somewhere you're not being honest. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. This is actually very spot on.
Good.
Very spot on.
You don't have to elaborate. That's probably really deep.
Oh, it's just that we don't have time for me to elaborate.
Come see me at the booth. We'll talk about it.
Definitely.
That's
Oh my
very
God.
spot on. This is very, yeah.
We were whispering to each other. We're like, oh my God, like they know what they're doing. Like that's
well,
like
I mean, I don't resonate with anybody. Any of you out there as well?
that resonated with me.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my goodness.
It's like
that's
music. It's
deep.
like songs on the radio. When I go live, I do collective readings for people, and they're like, "Well, how do I know it's for me? How do you know that song on the radio is for you? It's just you.
feel it.
You just
And
feel
feels
it,
for me
yeah.
differently. That might be a bop for you. It might be, oh my God, my mom's song. It speaks differently to everybody, right? So tarot is no different. What speaks to you in one way might speak to someone else differently. So eavesdrop, girl. Eavesdrop on readings. Listen to other people. If it's for you, it's for you. You don't need to have a bird poop directly on you to know it's for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be so specific.
I feel like I've gained like so much insight. I told you guys before, I like know nothing about like the tarot card stuff. So I was like, maybe I should go pay a visit to your booth.
It's really simple. If you lose the woo-woo, and I think of it like I'm showing you the wizard. I'm removing the veil. I'm taking you past the giant head, and we're looking at the back and seeing the wizard's face. And like, okay, how do we do this?
How do we do? Because when you guys were asking about your favorite cards, mine is actually the World.
That's a really beautiful card.
That was the what's it called? What is it? The only word I can think of is peace dinners and songs. That is the only word I could think of when I did my project, because it was the most colorful one, and I wanted to make the most beautiful. So it is a beautiful.
I mean, it's the ending a new beginning. It's the cycle renewed. It's the closing the door and the opening of a new one. That's perfect, babe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So.
Very well done. That's great. That's great.
What insight have you gained from this?
Oh, quite a bit. In fact, I wonder if you're not in the room next to mine, and I've heard some conversations going on this week. No, this is wonderful. I love having my tarot read, but like I cannot thank you enough for your energy, because this is really accurate. It's true. And it's honestly good advice to anyone.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that like, it ends up being that way. It ends up being relatable across the board, because there's only 78 cards. They can be shuffled millions of different ways, but like, how many different,
Yeah. No, but thank you very much.
Thank you for letting me. I appreciate
No,
that.
I mean, thank
Your
you
vulnerability, I appreciate that.
I mean, thank you two for being here. Like, this was very like I'm gonna say this is very insightful. Don't you agree?
I definitely agree. Do we have time for
Do you have time for one more? I don't know.
I was about to say, can we do one more reading?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, do you guys want one yourselves?
I know you said like.
I will do one for myself. Yes.
Yes,
Unless
do
you
it.
want one?
I mean, I'm kind of curious.
Okay,
We're gonna let her do one first.
We're gonna do it a little different. We're gonna do it a little
Okay.
different. So, and I have a. No, you can
Well,
see
let's
where you're at. You can see where you're
totally
at.
say where you
I got
are.
it. Yeah. No, I have a thing also where cards need to be cleansed. So I will
Ooh.
often take cards that I've used for someone and I will set them aside, so we don't have that redundant energy.
Interesting.
Yeah. So sometimes some people don't do that. Some people do. I just my personal preference. I can feel that like that's been done. So we got to do something else. So you guys, I'm gonna shuffle this, and you're gonna pick out a card yourself, and then I'm just gonna tell you what we get for you. And the vibe again is how do we set you up? What do you need to know moving into the new year? What's the work to be done, so to speak? Okay.
Okay. You wanna go first? Oh, Libra. I don't know this. I don't know the moon. Yeah, I should. I think I remember seeing it was like a Leo or might have been Virgo.
You have a whole chart of stuff
I just know that
for
my
people
birthday-
to judge and hate and all of that.
I just
so.
know that my birthday is September 30 and I'm
Okay.
Libra, so.
Yeah, no. CoStar is a great app. It's free. They do your chart for you.
Ooh.
There's a lot of different ones that do, you don't need to have someone do your chart. Just do it online. It's really
Oh,
simple because
okay.
you learn a lot about you. I think of sun, moon, and rising as like concentric circles. Your sun sign is like, I'm a Pisces, and that's like the castle. That's where you live.
That's
Your
the
moon
base
sign,
of it.
That's the base, yeah. And then your moon sign is the moat around the castle, the depth of you, your emotional burdens, the deep, deep water. And then the rising sign is the wall around the land. That's what people hit first. Your
Okay.
personality is found in your rising sign. So if you feel like, I know I'm a Libra, but I don't feel like one, look at the rest of your chart.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean? Perfect. All right, I'm gonna have you pick one of these. Any card.
I'm a little.
Perfect. What's that?
4 Pentacles.
Ooh, 4 of Pentacles. All right, word. So we need to practice some self-control.
Okay.
Okay.
I felt that. Especially here at HolMat.
A little self-control. So 4 of Pentacles energy. 4s come from the Emperor. It's about remembering who you are, what you stand for, what you prioritize. Somewhere you're overextended. It's probably just con energy. But like somewhere you're overextended, and we need to be a bit more frugal of the way you spend energy, money, and time, and make sure you're spending it on things that are towards who you are trying to be.
Okay.
Okay? So we need to pull back a little bit. 4s, 4 walls, 4 legs on a chair, sturdy, responsibility. You're missing a leg. You know?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
make sense?
That's insightful. That is very insightful.
All right.
Okay, Michael.
Pick a cat, What do you got?
Page of Wands.
Oh, Page of Wands energy is great. It's essentially the need to rekindle old passion. So somewhere in your life, you probably had to put something down that you cared about. You had a bunch of stuff in your hand, your priorities in your hands, and life comes along and you have to remove something to make room for life, right? So now we seem to have the space or time to be able to revisit something old to come back to it.
That's definitely accurate right now with what I'm working on. Definitely accurate.
Yeah, so this is the energy of that to me is always like when you rewatch a movie you loved as a kid, as an adult, and you're like, oh, that hits different now. That's weird.
That's weird.
As a grown up, ow. You know? So it's that. It's seeing it from the new with the new perspective, with the things that you know now. So it's great. It's apprentice energy. It's youthful energy. It's new message. It's new wands or passions. Or passion, subconscious, spirituality, a new method of communicating with yourself on a passionate level. So going back to those old passions and rekindling them.
That's beautiful. That is
Definitely
very
accurate. I like
beautiful.
I love it's time. You might as well. Like you better. Why wait? You have one life. Let's. You know.
That is a beautiful way to say it. Yeah, no, this was super insightful. I'm glad. That's like my first
Tarot's
year
fun.
The tarot is fun.
Tarot's
It's
fun.
amazing. Well, I think that.
Where can
Well,
everybody
yeah.
find you at?
Oh,
That's a
I'm
good
right next
question.
door.
Well,
I'm
Yeah, you go right
social
there.
media-wise,
Oh,
everything.
yes.
Where can they find you online?
MyName.com, MadamAdam.com. I'm official Madam Adam on TikTok, Instagram, all the things. I do general 60-second readings. I do live readings. All my stuff is on Zoom as well. My whole website. I'm going to be here. I'll be at StarCon and MegaCon in February. So yeah.
And you have a panel too today.
I do. I have a 7:15 Tarot 101. It's a 90-minute workshop, I suppose, where we're going to talk about card meanings. I'm going to give you my formula for quick understanding of base meanings to give your intuition space. And you will be reading cards, by the way. If you come.
Ooh.
It's participatory, and I'm going to make you do some stuff.
You seem excited for that. You seem like you want to.
Excited,
You seem
yeah.
like
I
you
think
want to go to
someone's gonna
that. I think
join
someone's
it.
going to go to
I
that.
might just sneak in.
And this is a silly one, but where can we find you, Mr. Jay Michael Tatum?
Oh my God! Good luck with that.
Elusive.
I'm elusive. I'm on social media, but I'm not on social media.
Yeah, you're just going-
it's just
you're here, you're
type
there,
my
you're
name into search
everywhere.
fields and see what you find. But yeah, no, I have an Instagram account. I'm on Twitter, X, or whatever the hell we're calling it these days.
You're everywhere and nowhere at once.
I'm everywhere and nowhere. Well, I'm a unicorn. I'm in the forest, but I'm hiding. And I'm also right over there, physically in person.
Physically in person.
Yeah, we're talking here. So yeah.
I want to say thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having
me.
It was
It's
very
been
last
delightful.
minute yesterday, and thank you so
Yeah, it
much.
was super last minute.
Thank you.
Of
as
course, a pleasure.
well.
Thank you for having me.
Well, stay tuned for our next segment. We'll catch you on the flip side. And thank you
Stop
guys
by
for
their booth.
coming. Stop by their booths. They're awesome. They're fun. They're great. Oh, there's an audience. I didn't see that. And I totally didn't see that.